there's kind of a thing that when you're reading a book, sometimes you don't relate to the main characters. And it's one of my kind of pet peeves. I go to pick up a book and I go to read it, and then I realise that maybe I don't like this book as much as I thought that I would. Primarily because of the way that the main character is just written. And I wanted to talk to you today about essentially making your main character likable, or at least relatable. Because here's the thing, if you pick up a book and your main character's not relatable and they're not likable, there's a good chance that you're probably going to sit there and go, yeah, maybe this book's not for me. And so when I wrote my first book, I kind of had this opinion. So what I did was I wrote what I would like to call a dual book. So it's all written in first tense, but it's written from the point of view of two characters. So basically every single chapter is a different character depending on what's going on within the book. And it's told, the story is told from the side of Ethan, and then we have the side of Nina. So it's quite a unique book in the way that it kind of shows a story from both sides, and you might not see what one side sees compared to the other, which is really kind of an interesting way that I did it. But personally, I would say that I had to make people either like both of these characters. So you had Nina, who was very shy, very introverted, basically in a bad situation that she needed to get out of, and she meets a hero who eventually just kind of pulls her out of a bad place, so to speak. And then you have Ethan, and Ethan has everything, but he doesn't like what he has because he thinks that his life has gone the wrong way. His life has basically gone a way that he didn't want. And I believe that those two characters are kind of relatable in a way to two different types of people. There's that one type of person that maybe their life has gone the wrong way and they're looking at fixing it. And then you have the other side of people who are quite shy and introverted and don't really know how to communicate as well. So it kind of looks at this extrovert and introvert kind of setting. So in a way, if you don't appeal to one character, you'll probably appeal to the other one. That's the idea that I had. Very unique way of writing a book. It's certainly not the type of book that I've ever personally read, but it was just an idea at the time because I wanted to be able to see both sides of the story, and both characters essentially had their own things going on. What I don't like about books is when you've got a character who's a bit of a brat, who maybe makes their own problems and then complains that they have problems. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, making characters relatable to a person, I think that if you're going to go for a genre, you kind of need to look at what people are reading. So it's like if you're going for a sports genre, maybe you want someone who's very sporty. If you're going for something gothic, maybe you want a character who's the lone wolf, so to speak. That's one thing that you could do. Yeah, I think that's about it, what I had to speak about. Making your main character relatable to the audience, really. So they kind of see themselves in that character and they can kind of live through that character in a way. Yeah. So if you guys enjoyed, I have links to my books in the description. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.